I decided to attempt TDS's new hardcore mode with no planning, no strategy, no teaming up with anyone, just ripping it raw with random teammates against by far the hardest game mode in TDS history. I am not forgiving Paradoxum games. So this is a new thing, right? I hopped on the game as soon as the update dropped, with a loadout already put together, and I prepared for my first attempt. Loading in, my team and I picked Wretched Front, which was the map I ended up getting pretty much every time. It's a good map. And we got a couple basic towers down to defend. Things were looking okay. This game is easy. Alright, we got some hefties. So far so good. Unfortunately, hardcore's early game is actually very difficult. Who would have thought? Because there are like 3 different detections you need a lot of. Hidden, lead, and flying. And on this first attempt, which was again like 5 minutes after the mode released, no one really knew that yet, so our loadouts were not equipped to handle the zombies. But hey, what's one loss? I hopped in a fresh match to try again. Oh, dude, I have hide tower rings off. No wonder we lost. Huh. What a foolish mistake. I focused on engineer here to counter the balloons, and on wave 10, a shrine spawned. Shrines are a mechanic unique to hardcore, and they're terrible, honestly. I hate them. Basically, you get 10 extra gems, which literally you can get by just farming a loss in like 20 seconds. In exchange for the bonus, you get a horrible modifier which will make you lose the game. It's basically just a rage bait totem for random matchmaking teammates to use to make you mad. Ooh, nice. 60% more health for 3 waves as the balloons spawn? That's awesome, man. Needless to say, lost that one. But surely a different pair of random teammates wouldn't activate the shrine again. Dude, why? Why would you do that? I mean, we were already gonna lose, but now we're for sure gonna lose. Yeah. But surely not a third time, right? Yeah, there was no third time. I switched up my approach for this next attempt, bringing Gold Soldier for early defense, because it has both hidden and flying detection for a relatively cheap price. And that did result in a much stronger opening. You know, I just said like 2 seconds ago, I lied. There was a third time. Dude, why? Genuinely, why? Why would you do that? It's 10 gems, dude. Like, please, guys, please. Their shrine privileges need to be taken away. We can't even get past the early game, bro. Yeah, lost that one too. The early game was rough. My loadout here was not good. I hadn't brought farm initially because typically the really hard game modes in TDS give you a ton of cash in the mid to late game, so it's not really needed. But the economy in this new version of hardcore is so terrible until like wave 35 that farm is kind of almost required, I'd say, maybe. I did not have a single run with even the slightest chance of winning when everyone didn't bring farm. After a couple more early game losses, I eventually ended up in a match which seemed promising. This is definitely our best early game start, by far. We got an actually competent defense going, I got some farms up. This is looking decent. We made it further than I had before, wave 19, but unfortunately my team and I ran into a roadblock. The Blight mini-boss. Okay, Accelerator is doing 1 damage. This is the first real DPS check of the run, and I hadn't farmed well enough, nor placed my accelerators well enough to keep us alive. But after the loss, I did discover something interesting. Revive tickets were enabled in this mode. And these things can be used for cheesing, kind of, but that'll come up more with some future runs. I did revive us here multiple times, but we never really had a chance at winning, despite making it a few waves further. I messed around with my loadout a bit. I tried going farmless again, and it felt pretty terrible, although my team and I did make it somewhat far. Dude, the Mandorgana? I thought that went extinct back in the feudal age. What's cool about this mini-boss is that the wave timer ends almost immediately after it spawns, so you have to deal with another wave while fighting the boss. Oh no no no! And then you're spawning this? Brother, what? Dude, this is not beatable. We lost. Again, I tried using revive tickets to cheese it, but it didn't work here. And after several more losses, and I do mean several, there were a bunch, I decided to go back to square one and try to think up a new loadout. And that's when I saw this video by Red Top At, where he soloed the mode somehow, I guess, okay? But what really intrigued me were the towers he brought. Golden Minigunner and Fireworks Technician were his only damage dealing units. 2 units with really good synergy. Mini generates a ton of fireworks, and the Technician can offer every type of detection, temporarily. It seemed like a potentially very good setup, especially since Accelerator kinda fell off, and I didn't really want to bring that. After a couple more losses, I finally got some strong teammates and a solid run going. Unfortunately, we were on this stupid map instead of Wrecked Front. Or Wretched Front, what's it called? I don't even think this is like that much worse of a map, I was just really used to the other one. Regardless, the new strategy with the minigunners did lead me and my team all the way to Wave 30. Unfortunately, Wave 30 spawns the Void Titan mini-boss, along with an entire stadium of fodder zombies. Dude, I don't get it. How are we supposed to kill this guy? How? We can barely get like 10k off him. Wave 30 was like mental trauma born of emotional neglect as a child, in that it was very difficult to get past. My team and I used so many revive tickets, getting a tiny bit of extra cash each attempt, chipping away at the Void Titan. And eventually, we did kill the mini-boss. But I wasn't even happy about it, because... Alright, this is officially the furthest I've made it, and I think we're about to just instantly lose over and over. What's awesome about Wave 31 is that a bunch of Void Floaters spawn. These guys have about 1 million health and require flying detection to damage, and we had nowhere near enough flying detection. This is why Fireworks Technician is so big in this mode. It grants 40 seconds of temporary detection at its max level. But I'd already spent all my money, and I didn't have that upgrade, so we had no way to win. After abandoning that attempt, this was like 3 hours deep by the way, I was starting to get a little bit tilted. I quit out of a few matches early when it became evident my team and I weren't going to win, and I lost a couple more in the early game. I still wasn't confident in my loadout. I was swapping towers around a fair bit. I saw some people online saying Frost Blaster was good for this game mode, so I decided to try that unit out for a bit. It turned out to be very good actually. I do recommend Frost Blaster, that's my hero. But even so, the Void Titan and the waves that followed remained impenetrable. Oh, dude, why? Why did they give this guy so much health? I died again at that benchmark 3 times because we revived ourselves. And I'll admit, this is where I just completely lost count of how many attempts it had been. I was originally tracking it and taking notes, but I kind of gave up. I think it was around like 25 when I finally partied up with some teammates who had the right towers to afford us a deep run. It took a revive, but we killed the Void Titan much more comfortably than my prior best attempt. And then it was 31 again. Well, we finally made it past the impossible Hell Wave, and our reward is getting all these flying enemies, which we can't kill. I needed to get like max Firework Technician or max Frost Blasters or something to deal with these, but I was being a little Dumbo, and I forgot until it was too late. So, again, revive tickets, woo. I used up just about all of mine while making this video. Even after the resurrections, though, we were just so flying weak. We were doing no damage. Oh my god, we survived. Somehow. I have no idea how. Unfortunately, even more flying enemies spawn on wave 33. Along with the mini-boss, the Void Brute. This wave is like, probably at least 3.7 times harder than wave 31. We had no shot. At all. And by this point, after just shy of 4 hours of grinding the mode, something was obvious. Again, another run where we just physically do not have the DPS. Like, we just don't. We could replay this 100 times and we would never win. I didn't know what to do. I just could not get past this subset of waves. I considered throwing in the towel and just DMing some pros to go get carried to a win, but I really wanted that random matchmaking win, and after already investing so much time into all those attempts, I couldn't walk away, but I was making virtually no progress in attempt after attempt. So, there was only one thing I could think to try. I really did not want to do this, but I kind of did want to do it, but the game has left me no choice. It's time. Let's go. Juggernaut is a new tower added alongside hardcore mode, and it is the strongest unit in the game's history. It makes up for its placement limit of 1 with a DPS so ridiculously high it looks like it's from a modded fan game. If I couldn't beat hardcore with Juggernaut, then I would really suck, yeah. I changed up my loadout a bit, and spawned into my first match with the tower, and I lost. But on my second attempt, things went much more smoothly. Our team composition was very good here, very balanced, and I was able to farm up to a Juggernaut by wave 18, and it made a difference. Wave 30 was still very scary, but okay, I am feeling the power boost with Juggernaut. We barely managed it, but we did kill this guy first go around. The issue was, again, the stupid flying guys. I manipulated Juggernaut's targeting while it had the detection buff from Fireworks tech. That sentence is unintelligible, but it still was not enough. Dude, these goddamn balloons! Well, hopefully these guys don't leave. I want to try again. The little extra bit of cash from the revive made the difference. We passed the wave, and going into 33, I was able to max out my Fireworks Technician. Dude, we got that fake-ass flying detection. Oh my god, this is so scuffed. But the Juggernaut was proving its worth. Wait, are we actually gonna do it? There's no way. We're actually going to survive wave 33. Yeah, we did. And after some deliberating, I decided to buy Juggernaut's bottom path upgrade, which gave it more DPS. I know I'm like barely talking about any of the other towers besides it, but Juggernaut was the hard carry here. Its gargantuan DPS allowed us to reach wave 36 and take out the Void Keeper mini-boss, and then even follow suit with the Vindicator on wave 40. I poured all my money into the tower's ultra expensive upgrades, and we were keeping our head above water, although it wasn't exactly pretty. Alright dude, wave 41. I honestly still don't think we can win, which I know sounds a bit crazy, but like, these final 5 waves are different, man. I tried to save for a level 6 Juggernaut, but oh my goodness gracious, what? Huh? Oh, that's the soul, of course. The classic soul experience. I'm glad to see they brought that over. Please, please, please. Okay. Okay. Shout out to souls, and shout out to souls too. I did get that upgrade, and it was 100% necessary for wave 33. I meant 43, damn it. Where a lot happens. Okay, Swordmaster is doing something. We got some portals going haywire. I don't even know what the hell is going on. We're fighting for our lives here. We were dealing a ton of damage, but even so, we would need good RNG with its attacks to have a chance. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be very tight. And, oh, yes, 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 stall there. It's just out of range of Juggernaut. Damn. We barely got it. Wave 44 was extremely scary, but we survived, mainly off the back of 2 towers. Oh my god. Firework Technician has done almost as much as Juggernaut. Thank you, Red Top Hat, for the inspiration. I just literally stole man's bag. So, we made Wave 45. There was only one boss remaining. The biggest, fattest enemy in TDS history, the Void Reaver. There he is. Wow. They really slimmed him down, huh? I didn't really mention this prior, but both of my teammates have brought gold minis here, which, you know, worked really well with the Fireworks Technician. I've repeated that so many times. And with the little bit of crowd control and the maxed out towers everywhere, we whittled away the boss's entourage. Okay, we're down to just the Void Reaver. I'm not getting my hopes up yet. Wait a minute. We're low-key putting this dude in a salad. What are you even talking about? By this point, the Juggernaut had dealt 1,000,000 damage, which is funny. Dude, we're going for it. We're going for it. We might just do this. We might just win. Right here and now. And we didn't even have to bring Goo Gunner to do it. That's how good this team is. Please tell me he's not going to refill his whole health bar for round 2. No, he's doing Death Wish. This has got to be it. This has got to be the end. Please. Please tell me this is it. It's really that simple. All you have to do is spend $30 on the most overpowered tower in the game's history, and you can win. I don't regret a thing. I mean, it took 6 hours and like 30 losses, but yeah, beat hardcore. You better subscribe and like for that one, and thanks to the channel members for that one. That one's dedicated to you guys. Yeah, I'm very good at this game. Dude, I know people really want harder modes in this game, but I really dislike them. Like, you just saw why. You know, I struggled for like 25 attempts just bashing my head against the wall until I get, you know, the God Tower. And it's just pretty easy win, honestly. But yeah, I mean, that's Hardcore Beaten. That's actually the easier of the 2 game modes. Stay tuned for Void Core.